those.
Congratulations on was a fantastic season for the show, second season for the show. There's been such exploration of themes of violence and its effect in the first season, and in the second season, this extra deep exploration of masculinity, depictions of various forms of masculinity. Are there particular themes you guys are looking to explore in season 3, focusing on, or will it just further explore these ones that have already been established?
I think because of the nature of the show, in terms of the Will and Hannibal relation, we're always going to be, and it's a horror show, I think we're always going to be exploring those and a version of them. I mean, what we want to keep doing is evolving them. I mean, I think what's interesting in this season is I think also this both Hannibal and Will, you know, we're looking at loss and grief in a way. I mean, in a way, what happened at the end of season 3, there was a breakup of sorts. I mean, you know, there's lots of conversation about is their relationship a romantic one? Is it? For me personally, it's not. But I think it's an incredibly deep male friendship that, you know, those lifelong buddy relationships can be stronger than romantic ones, and I think that got broken. So I think they're both also dealing with the loss of each other and grieving that and working out how to fill that gap.
I can keep going, but
so Mandy Patinkin said that he was leaving Criminal Minds because it was destructive to his mind and soul and personality because of all the violence going on in there. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I think, you know, obviously I can't speak to him, and in a way that's true. I mean, I think that's a very different show to ours, and I don't know what his experience on it was. I mean, certainly I feel like we always try to be very real about the effects of violence in the show and the way we write the show, and, you know, and you go to some dark places, because in many ways the show is heightened and not quite real, and there's a sort of, you know, fantastic element, you know, with our tableaus and our murder scenes, and the psychology is heightened. You know, we often talk about the show is quite purple, you know, it's heightened, but we always try and make the emotional truths of it very real and grounded, and definitely I think we've always been very careful that we see that toll on the characters, you know. I mean, he's obviously talking about on himself, but I mean, I certainly think for us as dramatists, there's a massive onus to show how it affects people who work in those fields, you know. I mean, Will, Jack, all these guys, none of them are just walking home and, you know, ordering pizza.
So, but you aren't having nightmares?
No, you know, I get to leave it at work. I mean, I think often as a writer, I mean, I feel like when we're writing it, I'm certainly affected by what I'm thinking about, and you go to a place where you have to work out how the hell would I feel if I did that or was seeing that, and, you know, you go to places from your own life when you've been pretty low to find it, but also I think part of writing is, you know, that's what you do, and actually in many ways that's how you deal with those feelings and get them out. I mean, I thought in some ways it's pretty cathartic, I think, writing that stuff.
Generally speaking, men use violence as a way to deny intimacy, right? They're having a very warm moment and they realize it and they both go, oh, you know what I mean? This show, violence is actually the gateway to intimacy. Was that an intentional reversal?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't work. I came on halfway through season 1, so I don't know. I can't talk to Bryan in the very beginning of it. I mean, I think more. I guess for me, it's almost a result of it's a show about violence and it's a show about intimacy, because I think a lot of shows about violence aren't intimate, you know, and the violence is the sort of action. And I feel like for us, the violence is sort of, it's the crucible that starts the discussion between those two men. You know, in those scenes certainly where they would discuss the case and Will would bring it back, and actually that would become the basis for the real conversation, which is between those two men. So I think certainly what you describe is a result. I don't know if we ever said, oh, that's what the show's about. You know, I think in the end it was a show about these two men and this incredibly twisted, multi-layered male friendship. But I also think, you know, Will and Hannibal never go to the place you described. They never punch each other in the shoulder and pull away. They're actually both incredibly articulate about their feelings. So I think...
if they're both telling the truth.
Indeed.
Which?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we sort of say, you know, Hannibal very rarely lies. You know, he almost uses the truth as his weapon more than anything, you know. And for us, you know, when he was saying, well, look, I'm just being a good therapist, I just want you to be the best version of yourself. That's absolutely the truth. It's just the best version of yourself's a guy like me, you know, and that's where his, you know, his moral compass is a little skewed. You know, it's not exactly pointing north. So.
You brought Dr. Chinton back to life, so that means that you're getting closer to the novels?
I think Bryan coined it best. I'm going to use his phrase. You know, he said we're sort of Thomas Harris mashup DJs. I mean, I think we've always been very faithful to the spirit of the novels. Anyway, I mean, we're both of us are huge Thomas Harris fans, and you know, and what's interesting is that an awful lot of lines in the script and things that are in there are actually, you know, they're taken from the books. They're very much the Bible for us. But I also think, you know, after the novels and the movies, no one wants to see things done the same way. So we've always mixed it up. So, for instance, the way that in Red Dragon it is described that Will Graham caught Hannibal by a wound man, we gave that to Miriam last. So we said to the fans, no, we want to give you that moment, but it won't be Will, because otherwise they just know what's coming. So I certainly think, and again with the back half of season 2, we sort of did Mason Verger in the pigs, but we said it before the incident where Hannibal took his place. You know, that was the catalyst. So I think we will keep sort of mashing it up like that. I mean, Chilton was just a great character, and we wanted to sort of tease that, you know, he might be gone, but actually, you know, we want to keep him around because we want Hannibal to end up under his care and have all the fun of that, you know. But, you know, we will definitely get into the Red Dragon story this season, and we will do Francis Dolarhyde. We haven't started storylining it, so how we mash that up, I don't yet know. But we'll definitely do Red Dragon this season, which I'm super excited about.
That's great. Francis Dolarhyde is great.